As I was going to sleep last night, I was feeling around on my scalp. And on the left side of my scalp, I felt this bump, more like a little lump. And I felt it on the right side of my skull, on the exact same spot, but on the other side. I didn't feel anything like that. And this panic flooded me. And immediately in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, do I have a brain tumor? And that seems like such a huge leap to take. A really huge leap to take. But 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, when I was starting to have health issues, doctors had wanted me to get tested because one of the things that they were worried about was a brain tumor. And I still have that fear stuck in the back of my mind. I have that fear stuck throughout my body. I even asked my husband last time, like, can you get the flashlight on your phone and can you just check it out? Just to see, like, is it like a bug bite or, like what's going on there? And he was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. Like, he couldn't believe like the panic that I was feeling. This just instinctual fear arose in me. And he did end up checking it out. And it said that it was just kind of red, but it felt fleshy. It's not hard or anything. Just like, telling me to chill out. Oh, but that fear. Whenever a symptom arises in my body, a more, quote, like serious symptom, my body instantly goes into fear. My mind instantly goes into fear. And I think back to that almost 4 years ago. And I've done a lot of, healing and inner work since then. And this is still heavily lodged, apparently, in me. Every time a new symptom arises, instead of opening myself up to that with curiosity, I opened myself up to that in like a panic. The alarm bells were being run from like every cell in my body. This fear that still I'm not safe enough. That all this work that I've been doing to create safety for me, I still don't feel fully safe. It's really hard to get into a place of safety when you were drifting so far away from a sense of safety. Because 3-4 years ago, I did not feel safe in any capacity. I felt unsafe with what was going on in the world. I felt unsafe in my home because we purchased a home in a bit of a rough neighborhood. It's supposed to be an investment property, which is turning out to be a nightmare, a long overdue nightmare. We've been here 6 years, I think, almost 6 years. Anyways, I had my children during that span of time. You have this deep sense of fear for the safety of these, 2 children that all of a sudden came out of me and entered my world, and I'm responsible for them. Their safety to me is so fucking important. That's a mother's job. Like, for my babies to not survive, just like from an evolutionary lens, like that is a mother's like most primal, just like the deepest fucking sense. The deepest responsibility is that call to keep your children safe and happy. Fuck. I didn't feel safe in my body because of what was going on with it. All kinds of weird symptoms and severe insomnia worsened it all. I'm ready to stop telling this story. I'm ready to stop playing this as my story. This is no longer my story. That was my story. But I am entering an era now where I genuinely feel safe in the world. And I haven't had that feeling of safety, I don't think, ever. I have a sense that as a baby, I did not have that sense of safety, even then. And I can for sure feel from past lifetimes that that safety was not there. I had a lot of horrific timelines and lifetimes. But now, I've been cultivating a sense of peace and safety. I wasn't born with that innate sense. Therefore, I'm going to create it for myself. I'm not going to live in a world that somebody else made for me, or that is now this old expired story. Nah. That life was ass, dude. I do not want to have that life again. It was ass. That life was terrible. Because you're living in a constant, like, low grade state of fear. And even something like a small bump on my head spikes that terror. It doesn't take much. But I have finally gotten to this place where that's just not present anymore. I'm finding safety in my body, of all places, and of course, of all places. I am rebuilding trust in my body because I'm learning the language of my body. I'm getting to know my body as though we're almost like an alien that arrived into my timeline. And in order to live with it peacefully, I have to learn the ins and outs of it. Learn it from inside out. It's funny because then that's when you start to embody. I've been learning, I guess, through each of these symptoms, everything that's been going on the last 4 years especially. Every time something flared up, that was an opportunity for me to be like, oh, I'm going to add this to the codex. When this happens, that's what this means. This is what's coming up from that. All those moments were like little gifts, like almost like little warts of energy popping up to the surface. not warts so much anymore, but like nodules, like nodules in the field, in the net, in the auric field and beyond. It literally becomes those like intersections these tiny little moments that from which like everything branches out, and there are so many fucking different possibilities, like endless possibilities. And that's the way in which our body talks to us too. Those points are not only to connect us to everything outside of us, but to connect to everything inside of us. And that's how you embody the body. You get to know it so fucking well that you realize you have always been it. You just forgot the language. Just forgot how to speak body. And so in these moments, these precious little gifts of when our fear rises up, that's an opportunity, that's a flare from our bodies to our consciousness through the dark of the void, saying, hey, I need your attention here. You need to learn me, and I need to learn you. And we need to trust one another. And that's when the freedom comes. That's when the freedom comes. Is when you start learning your body it's like as if you were, let's say that you were an English speaker all your life. That's your native tongue. But all of a sudden, maybe since the age of, 10, you've been learning a different language, and all of a sudden that one becomes even more fluent than like your original native tongue. The fluency is in the now because it's current. It's the current. So your body isn't a problem. Far from it. Your body is a portal. It literally portals you. It pulls you into the inner dimensions. And the inner dimensions are really all that we have. The inner dimensions are the divine matrix. Outside of us is the 3D matrix. Inside of us, we are the divine matrix. And when you can start learning that language, becoming fluent in it, then what you see in your external then takes on a different lens all of a sudden. And it might be the same objects or it might be the same situations, but you see it differently now. You see it as a divine unfolding because it's part now. It's becoming part of the divine matrix. It's like the divine matrix is reclaiming the 3D. Like, when you see pictures of like old buildings or like more like ancient buildings. But even I guess I've seen ones of like urban cities, and those are really cool too. But like, like a city has fallen, it hasn't been inhabited in so long. And it's all just been metal and concrete. That's all that's left. And then like nature starts taking over it. So because it's been uninhabited for a while, nature starts to grow within it. And it does so to the point where it just reclaims that which was taken from the divine matrix. And it's starting to reclaim it and then reabsorb it. Reabsorb it. And then everything becomes divine. Inner and outer matrix. How fucking cool. I'm ready for that. Do you want to experience that too? It's what I'm exploring in real time, and I thought I would share the journey with you all. So, thanks for listening. See you in the next one.